everybody. Welcome to the first ever episode of Shouts, the show where people get together and argue the toss out of absolutely anything. The show is co-hosted by myself, Steven Caulfield, aka the Wandering Angel, aka Steven Caulfield. My co-host is none other than Thelonewalker1, aka Adam Caulfield. Adam, how you doing?
I am very good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm doing very well, thank you very much. Our guest at this time, if anyone else, if a lot of you follow my stuff, you'll know these two gentlemen sitting next to me. They're joining me in Studio A. To my immediate right is the wrestling enthusiast and co-host of Total Markout. He is Dan the Geek King Adamson, aka King632 on Twitter. And then to my extreme right, you have the King of Nostalgia, the Lord of the Past. He is the one and only indie wrestler and referee, Erik Van Djismie, a.k.a. Erik Van Djismie.
Thank you.
So how are you two doing?
I'm fine. I'm cool.
Cool. And
Looking forward to the show.
Exactly. It's a very sunny Thursday afternoon here in Stanley. We are all quite disturbed by these sort of events.
Bear in mind, this is March.
Now, exactly. Now,
It's March.
ladies and gentlemen, this is how the show works. When we start the show, what will happen is we have a brief introduction just to explain who our guests are. Then each person will get 20 minutes in total dedicated to their subject. So, for instance, say I'm spending, my subject will say be about gaming in the 21st century. I get 20 minutes to introduce the subject, talk about it, and then we all discuss the subject for the rate of 20 minutes. When the 20 minutes is up, we move on to the next topic. Then, once everyone's done that, we have a quick wrap-up to see what we've all learned, and then we'll close the show, and hopefully you guys will watch it and make us lots of money. Now, we've decided that Adam is going to start the show this week. So, Adam, first of all, tell us what is your topic?
Today I will be talking about society.
Society?
Yeah.
That's rather broad.
Oh, don't trust me. I'm going to cover everything I physically can.
Okay, well, we have the almighty Timer of Justice by my left, which may or may not be an iPod. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about society in 3, 2, 1. Take it away, Adam. I'm not first.
Well, hello there, everybody. I'm Thelonewalker1 and as been introduced, and today I would like to talk to you about society. Now, as we discussed, this is a pretty broad topic, so it gives me a chance to talk about everything that I've kind of observed in my life so far, and the things that kind of get me annoyed but get me happy at the same time. And I'd like to discuss one thing first, which is a real pet peeve of mine. It's people. Now, that again is rather broad, but it's specifically people who, people my age who, have this weird sense of a need for maturity. It usually comes to a need for maturity, but a complete and utter denial of the responsibility, of consequence. These are the people who, people my age and people younger, for example, who will hook up with partners to have sex at my age. I find that weird, and I'm not the only one, but it's weird why I do. I am not exactly one of these people who completely trust the government, because I don't. I think they've messed up on a few accounts. But I am a stickler for laws that I believe should be obeyed. The law on underage sex is one of those for me. Mainly because the way it was explained to me was that 16 was the age in which most people are most biologically and psychologically capable of handling such undertakings as sex. And it's weird to me that people who, again, my age and younger, feel they know more and they know when they are ready. But when they go into it and when they actually get involved in this kind of stuff, and then it starts to turn their lives around, and then it's always them coming back and wishing they'd never done it in the first place. But people seem so gung-ho at the time that they know what they are doing. And these are the people that annoy me. The people that are, not the people who do it and regret it, the people who do it and then don't regret it and then tell other people they should do it, and people who bully others for not doing it. If you ask me, bullying someone because they choose to obey the law and they choose to do what they want with their body is completely and utterly wrong. But more on that later. Another issue I tend to have is the fact that, like most of the people in my family, I am what's considered a romantic. I don't go for that most. I go for the idea of companionship, the idea of being with someone simply for the idea of being with them, instead of a means to an end. Instead of someone is there solely for sexual relations. I prefer being around them, talking to them, and knowing someone there is actually happy to be chilling with me. That's what I prefer. Fair enough if you don't agree with me and if you don't prefer that, but I do think it is wrong to make major decisions as that at such a young age. Got into this argument because of an old friend of mine who was shacking up with this. I say shacking up, she was with the guy, and it kind of turned out that she did not want to just be okay with him. He didn't. He was fine with how they were, but she was desperately wanting to have sex with him, and she came at me asking me to persuade the guy, and I refused point blank. She asked me why I wouldn't, and I said because I disagreed with her completely. This culminated into me explaining the law to her as well, and it was a weird argument because it was like, well, I know what I want to do with my body, and I went, well, you might know what you want to do with your body, but that isn't what is right to do with it. What you want and what is right are always the same thing. I kind of knew this because she used the same old title line she always used. This one is the one. I'd do anything for this guy. This was this. So I was a bit wary. But, yeah, it was a weird argument that I got into. But there are many more aspects. For example, Valentine's Day is one that got kicked off on Facebook when I posted a stat saying that I hated Valentine's Day because it was mainly the idea that love should be commercialized just for one day and that people don't make the effort all year round, it's just that one day. And I got a bit of a debate from a friend of mine and we traded lines back and forth, but we ended up going on with our day at the end. Now, you may think such an idea would annoy me, the fact that I was having to argue about this, but I really wasn't, because people were on my side. And that it sounds like I'm being headed for cosmic, but I'm not. What I'm saying is this: the fact that there are people out there who agree with me that romance should be done all year round and not just on one specific day because you're kind of expected to, just made me smile inside. However, since I don't want to sound repetitive, I'm going to kind of move on to a different area, and I'm going to talk about another thing that really annoys me. This is discrimination. Now, this is going to be really difficult to fit all into like 20 minutes because there's a lot of it out there. And I'm going to admit also that this point is a little overdone in quite a few ways. It's preached about a lot and it's taught about a lot, and it's mainly in politics. But I feel I need to just throw my 2 cents in here because, I don't know, I've always been around people who are really liberal and love all humans because you're humans, and I've been around people who aren't, who hate people because of race. But there's one that's very close to my heart. And that is discrimination based on sexual orientation. Now, I have 2 friends who are bisexual. They are lovely people. They are the best friends I've ever had in my life, and I could not ask for nicer people to know me. So you can understand my anger and upset when they came at me crying, because when they came out, people at school found out and started bullying them for it. Now, I don't understand where people get off using sexual orientation as a means to be biased against someone, to judge them, and then to bully them. And if anyone has a reason exactly why that should be used to judge people, please feel free to tell me, because I have not yet found one. If you ask me, people should be judged by deeds and deeds alone. It's best summed up in the Tim Minchin song, Cont, or Context. Life is not about who you like, why you like it, or what colour your skin is. It's about what you do. If you are a nice guy, or a nice girl, or whatever, then people are going to like you. It does not matter what gender you prefer to have sex with, or what race you are. But this idea is lost on people. And then, an argument I usually get for this is people who tell me that the reason being for it is because the Bible says so. I don't think I have time to get into the religious debate I would normally get into talking about the Bible. I don't think I have the time, nor do I have the tolerance. But I do get a number of people say the Bible says this. It's like so why is being gay wrong in your eyes? Oh, because the Bible says so. Well, does it? The Bible also says it's okay to sell your daughter, stone disobedient children, and throw prostitutes out into the desert to be eaten by wild animals.
In fairness, I often throw prostitutes out into the desert to be eaten by animals.
Yeah.
But that's my point.
But you get my point. You can't use the Bible to base on actual... You can't use the Bible to get your moral basis. Moral compass does not come from a book that tells you it's okay to kill children for not going to bed at a designated time. And
that's true.
Yeah, and if you think about it also, the Bible isn't that good a book even by fictional standards.
Well, it is better than Twilight.
Yeah, well,
that is very good.
Yeah, in fairness, a piece of paper with the word "the" written on it is better than Twilight.
Yeah.
At least you'll learn more and have better characters.
And you won't sparkle.
Yeah, but well, it depends on what you're doing when you're reading it. But this is what gets me annoyed. It's people that come to me and say, "Well, I don't like this guy because of such and such." Well, you're an idiot. And I know it's wrong to call people an idiot for having beliefs, but when your beliefs center around judging people because they are different to you in a way that does not directly harm anyone or actually affect their morals in any way, shape, or form, you are silly. You, sir, are divulging in poppycock, in nincompoopness. And that's not even a word, but I'm going to use it because it feels right to use that word.
I like it.
Hashtag nincompoopness.
It's that kind of thing, and it does get me. I mean, I got bullied. I got bullied badly when I was in Joe's and in Bede's, and I know I'm not the only one who's had that happen to them. Who's had people use every name in the book, punch people, push people, kick people. I know that I'm not the only one that's had it happen, and I'm not going to sit here and claim it gave me an evil. It didn't. It did annoy me, and it annoyed me because these are people who are, at basic, it's the same as me. They are the same species as me. They have relatively the same kind of lifespan, depending on, what they do in their life. But I'm being judged because my hobbies are different to them, or the way I speak, or what I do. I write. I love writing. It's a fond love of mine. I hate playing football, because I'm not very good at it. However, this is apparently reason enough to hate me. I like arguing religion with people because I tend to...
7-minute warning.
Thank you. I tend to find it amusing when I am talking to someone and they say, well, what about this? And I'll say, well, what about this? And we get into a bit of a debate. Because usually it's a fun little time to test how well my brain's working on that particular day. And this confuses people. And it makes them not like me. No, I don't understand it. I tend to not like people if they do something bad. I didn't think, although I was brought up wrong, which I wasn't because my parents are awesome, but unless there was some form of secret loss to me, the hobbies someone does in their spare time, like writing or playing football or painting or making music or dressing up as a clown and dancing around your rooms, I didn't realise those were a reason to hate someone. In fact, I don't find any reason to hate someone other than, the actual bad things they do. I don't hate anyone solely because they play football. I don't hate people because they like a certain band. I don't hate people because they wear a certain brand. I hate people because usually they do something bad to me or other people. Am I the one that this makes sense to?
Well, to be honest with you, we were kind of waiting for a break so we could actually talk and share our opinion.
Yeah, I do apologise when I've given a topic, when I've picked a topic like this for myself. I don't tend to allow people to speak, but go ahead.
I think I've worked out why people don't like you then.
It's mainly because
Yes, Dan, you have a question.
Yeah, Adam.
Yeah.
How often do you dress up as a clown in your own room?
It's very rare. It's very rare, if ever. If I have a clown suit and I'm feeling particularly bored, maybe.
Just your brother got quite worried, that's all.
No, I don't dress up as I hate clowns. Mainly because I have a phobia of them. I don't hate them because they're clowns. I hate them because...
I think if you go off to be a clown, you are a sad freak and deserve to commit suicide.
Poor Doink.
No, I jumped in front of it.
Doink wasn't a real clown, he was a wrestler.
That's real to me, damn it.
It's real to me!
Right, we get off topic.
Yeah. Okay, so we're talking about judging people for...
No, we had sex before that.
We didn't. No, we didn't. although I think out of the two of us, I far more likely to have sex than you, mate.
More likely.
No, but you understand my point. I mean...
Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We're talking about kids having, like, sex, like, underage sex and all that jazz. I mean, it's got a good point. There is a lot of, I'm far more mature, you know, I know what it's all about. Is that a product of Hollywood, or is it a product of our own lifestyle because we act so high and mighty about it, or are kids just thick as shit?
I'm not touching underage kids.
I'm going to go with kids are just thick as crap.
I
mean, kids these days is probably American Pie.
That's a good point.
American Pie, everyone will have to get laid before they left.
But to be honest with you, that movie is so shit, I'd rather have sex than watch it.
I like it. I like them all.
Yeah, but you're Dan.
I like them all.
Yeah, but you're Eric.
I'm
Steve Jobs 213. I have class and sophistication.
All I have to say to
You have a
that,
girlfriend. Well, sorry, a fiance.
Yeah, I have a fiance.
You know.
all I have to say to that,
Yep.
I would rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not.
Oh.
Didn't Daniel Bryan say that?
No.
He's not descending into total barcode territory. This is a different
no. Here's the thing, right? We're talking about judging people. I never got the whole bullshit with, like, people who are gay and bisexual and why judge. I mean, at the end of the day, right?
We never had any green cross.
No, well, say you're straight, which we are.
Not until they left.
Right, here's the thing, right? Say if I was single and I'm in a bar and there's a load of gay people, I'm probably in a gay bar, I know, but if there's like some women there and I'm the only straight person there, am I going to waste my time going, you're all heathen, you're gay, or am I going to go, more gay people means more chance for me to get with women?
I know my next friend.
I wouldn't go try picking a woman at a gay bar.
No.
I'm not going to. Cause my
No, you're not. You don't have that kind of luck.
Surely that would be like, actually, no, I can't make that joke. I can't make that joke. Carry on.
That's like 3 times my size.
Sorry, what was that, Adam?
I was going to make a joke and then I realised I'm technically not allowed.
No.
It was a good one as well, that's the annoying thing.
So your main problem is that people are getting... You don't see the ideas behind bullying because they're different.
Yeah, my main problem is that people nowadays are so driven by this kind of idea that everyone should meet their ideal, that...
It's discrimination by difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got to have sound bites.
I mean, for Christ's sake, I know it's going to sound like every other person who's ever done this kind of thing, but, you know, it's the differences that make us who we are. It's the differences that make us the differences make us unique.
Yeah.
Look at the four of us, where each one of us is different.
Yeah.
I'm 6'3" with tattoos and a big beard cut. Djismie's 6'4", 6'5", long hair, big beard, vegetarian.
Still think that Hulk Hogan is a good wrestler.
I've got long hair. I'm 5 foot. What's the point? At 200 and odd fucking scales. Have to buy some new ones. And you know, I wholeheartedly disagree with everyone just being pretty much anything that exists.
No, for Christ's sake, I mean, I'm like, what, 5'2", I weigh in at about 156 pounds. I mean...
But look, I mean, here's the thing. What I don't understand is why are people so scared of difference? I mean...
I think a lot of it is the way...
Because a lot of people don't go their 2 mile radius.
Yeah.
They're in their little box.
Yeah. Oh, take my fiance now,
and a lot of people don't want to expand because they're frightened of what might be out there.
Well, take my fiance now, right? My fiance and I are 2 very, very different people, just with some similarities. I mean, I'm a poetic, romantic, tend to be soft-speaking when I'm around all the time, diplomatic, and yet I have a very bad temper. My lass is, she's very blunt to the point, doesn't bullshit anyone, and yet she has, even though she could probably kill a bitch with just a bare hand in 50 seconds, she's got the most patience of anyone I've ever met. But we're both very different people, and yet it's those differences which keep us together. Most people who are like me, I can't fucking stand. People who are like me just drive you up the fucking wall because I only have to deal with myself. Are you trying to say that I'm like Djismie?
You just do a very fucking similar.
For God's sake, people, pull it
you're
together.
not going to survive by the end of this show, boy.
Once again, 3 times bigger when you're home.
Yeah.
Come on, people, let's pull it together. Group hug. Come on.
So we're coming up to 2.5 minutes left for this.
Do you want to do a bit of a wrap up?
Well, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we are all
At the end of the day, we have lag on the call.
humans. We're all living on the same bit of bloody rock and water as everyone else. Can we not? Oh, please. And instead of hating people for pointless, needless, goddamn reasons.
Yes.
In other words, make love, not war.
Craft.
Fuck that.
Unless you're underage, in which case, make Lego.
I only watched that episode.
I think that is the message of the show, really. Make Lego, not war.
I don't like Lego.
How can you not like Lego?
Couldn't make it.
It's too complicated, bro.
I mean, it's too complicated.
People could. I wasn't allowed to make a gun, and I wasn't allowed to make a sword, right? So they took off me.
Who
Build
said
a
that?
house.
Your ma.
You can build a house. You
Why
can
did I build a house? You can't hit no
build an
house.
axe.
Oh, that's what I do.
Did you try?
Yes. Didn't come out very well.
Build a stick.
So yeah, I do apologise that that wasn't as funny as pretty much all of yours are going to be, but you know, I had to get that off my chest.
Really, we were pissing ourselves laughing all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really were.
I thought it was hilarious at times. I loved it.
And I want to say another thing, and I'm pretty much, I know I'm speaking for Erik here as well. I don't want you to change the way you talk. It's fucking awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If not, embrace it more.
Well, no, it's the embrace. With you, it's embrace this, embrace that, embrace this in the preheated oven. Everything about you is embracing.
Preheated oven, right?
Let's face it, people. All he wants is a bloody hug.
I'm not hugging him.
I'm not allowed to anymore.
No.
But yeah.
Okay.
Moving on.
So we've got a 50-second warning. You want to wrap this up, Adam? Final thought. You got 45 seconds.
45 seconds, okay? And I'll try to sum up exactly what I'm trying to say in 45 seconds. Pretty much this.
40 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all pointless bits of carbon. We are all pointless bits of pretty much the same carbon, just different colours and different orientations. Please, let us all just join together and be one massive carbon molecule so that we can all eventually take over the universe in a rather nice, efficient, lovely way.
Are you trying to say that if we all join together, we'll become a diamond?
Yes.
Take care of yourself and each other. And Jeff Springer.
Oh,
I have 4 seconds left, so woohoo!
I know you don't.
It's gone. Next.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Is that
Should
good?
be me.
Right, so that was 20 minutes dedicated onto one of the most broad topics in history.
Yep.
So up next, it is the man with the Dan. It is Dan. The man with the Dan is the best I come up with in 30 seconds. Right, so Dan, first of all,
Man
what
with
is
the Dan.
what is your subject?
Well, seeing as I'm the Geek King, I decided to stick with comic books, and what I'm going to do is explain to how DC could take a page out of Marvel's movie ideas and go the same way, but rather than end up with Avengers, you'd end up with a Justice League film.
Okay, so Dan,
Yay.
on comics and comic movies, in 3, 2, 1, go.
It's rather simple. You've got your Batman already sorted out. End of Nolan, continue with Christian Bale. Hell, have Nolan direct Justice League. Then you've got your Superman. Okay, we haven't seen how he's gone, but to save my good friend Erik Van Djismie with a heartbreak of yet another reboot and yet another Superman, we'll stick with Harry or Henry, because Cavill, however you want to pronounce it. But the logical step then should have...
Christopher Reeve.
I know, but you can get your chance in a bit. Then your logical step would have been Wonder Woman. Get your big three in and out, done. Therefore, you've set up.
Surely Wonder Woman's your pick too.
Well, yeah, but your big three is
Depends
the
who you cast.
The holy trinity of DC.
Alright.
Well, for me, I would cast. There's a couple of options.
Shelley Martinez.
No, because I want a bitch who can act.
Oh, who was it that said they wanted to do that? I think, wasn't it? There was a wrestler who wanted
Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Beth Phoenix.
But Christina Hendricks also said she's want to do it. If you don't know her, she's out of Mad Men and a few other little things.
No.
But
Carry on.
I would probably go with Jamie Alexander. She played Lady Sif in the 4 films, so she's already already got the warrior type mentality down, and has got the idea of a nice young face, good actress as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you get your Wonder Woman film, you set that up the same way as you did your Iron Man, and you'd launch it at the end, maybe with a little tease of something towards the Justice League coming in a few years' time. After that, then that's when you'd bring in the Green Lantern, your next most loved character in the Justice League. You bring in Green Lantern. Personally, I would probably keep Ryan Reynolds as Lantern. I don't think he did a bad job as Hal. But, of course, you can also, if you wanted to do a different one, you could do John Stewart.
But he's not black.
The black one. As my good friend Erik Van Djismie always says, he's not black, so if you want, use the black one and use John Stewart. To cast that, I'd maybe go, I mean, he's everywhere in a minute, Idris Elba.
Yeah.
He's everywhere, so I'd possibly...
What was the name of the guy that played Teal'c in Stargate SG-1?
Oh,
For the Judge, wasn't it?
I think it's that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very good.
He would be good.
He would be good. So I'd
He'd be awesome.
so you'd cast a version of a Green Lantern, you do your film, you connect some dots here and there.
Yeah.
Then would be Flash. Now, Flash is a difficult person to cast because you want a cocky, wise guy with a runner's build. At the same time, he has to come off as intelligent as well. So I would personally, there's a couple of options. One is the one that's talked about recently a lot, and there's a lot of fan casts as well. Bradley Cooper.
I don't know who he is.
He was in the 18. He plays Face in the new 18 film.
Oh, he was good. He was good.
The main guy from The Hangover,
You
the
know.
pretty boy.
No.
Or Neil Patrick Harris.
He was on Raw once.
Neil Patrick Harris could work in one simple way. He's got this kind of build that Bart Adams got, or Wally West, depending which way you're going to go. He's got the wise guy and he can go smart, as he did in Starship Troopers.
But have you ever considered fuck you?
No, I never considered the after fuck you.
Taiwanese. It's pretty good.
But once again, there's a few different ones you could pick from. That one would be that'd be your difficult sell. That'd be your 4.
That's going to be...
Because not a lot of people know who the Flash sorry. Not a lot of people would know the Flash is, if any of the Flash's villains.
Wasn't the Flash a redhead?
No, he's blonde.
Blonde, alright.
Blonde.
So who was the redhead
He
one?
has a red mask.
With a red mask.
Yeah, but
Red-headed.
was that just a Justice League animated decision?
I think they changed one. I think they changed Kid Flash to redhead in post.
Kid Flash, right.
But once again, there's not a lot of people who know any of the Flash's villains. Which you'd probably do Captain Cold for that one.
What was Captain Boomerang one?
Yeah, Captain Boomerang was.
I know something.
Or Gorilla Grodd, which is one of his main ones as well.
So I thought you said Dennis Rodman.
You could cast him as Gorilla Grodd if you wanted to.
He's everyone's worst enemy.
So then, from Flash, you'd have your main ones there. This would be the hard sell. The next hard sell was, do you go Aquaman?
No.
Or do you bring Aquaman into the film itself, the Justice League film?
Yes.
I personally, as obviously you agree, would bring Aquaman into the film as well and be a part of the team that you'd bring in.
You would have to give him his own movie first, because the only way you're going to sell it.
Well, no, because I don't think he'd sell, and therefore I'd break it down. As for an actor to play him, it's very difficult. Who comes off as Aquaman? I'm going to ask you here, who would you suggest?
Well, I don't like Aquaman, so fuck him.
Well,
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. That's your go-to guy for everything.
No, actually.
I want Zac Efron.
What about Liam Neeson?
If you're going to go older with the beard and long hair, yeah.
Aquaman with that voice.
With the hawk as well.
Think about it. Liam Neeson's got one of those voices that, quite frankly, if you could fuck a voice, I would go gay for that voice.
Yourself.
So
not
gay
for the voice.
Oh,
who would you cast?
No, in all seriousness, I like that idea as to go with the bearded Aquaman, but don't have him as part of the team initially.
As long as we're not...
Well, he is the outcast.
Go for the animated series role. I know.
Go ahead.
Right, go with the animated role series and bring him in. Like, there's others that are there, and maybe build into a sequel and have the same as Green Arrow. Don't have him as your core team.
Just don't get
But he is part of your core team.
But I mean...
the Avengers are missing characters as well, so
keep Pierce Brosnan away from the project and I'm happy.
Adam, do you have any ideas on who you cast as Aquaman?
I would cast him as Aquaman because Aquaman's up.
Well, not so much.
I want to leave Aquaman under the water where he could stay forevermore.
I mean, going by the new DC 52, which is the relaunch they did in September, Aquaman is a complete badass.
Would you use a reword in front of me?
would you not use characters such as like Green Arrow, perhaps?
Well, Green Arrow is someone I'd bring into the film.
Yeah.
Similar as they did Hawkeye. I don't know, that's similar. It's basically Hawkeye, but with DC.
Yeah.
You know, But for him, I think I'd cast him already in my mind as Charlie Huffman.
All right.
For those who don't know who Charlie Huffman is, he's the main guy in Green Street.
It's not Booker T.
He's the skinhead. He's also, any fans of Sons of Anarchy will know Charlie Huffman as the main character in Sons of Anarchy. Long blonde hair, beard, big beard, and most importantly, he's a joy.
I'll look it up on the Internet Movie Database.
I'll show you in a minute. So you've got Charlie Huffman. He can do a great accent. He's got that he's got the young look, and like I said, the new 52 has brought in a badass version of Aquaman, where Aquaman ain't taking shit from nobody. He's fighting, he's destroying people. No one's challenged him for the throne because no one can. I mean, but if they're going to do the new 52, you have to bring Cyborg in. He's now apparently a core member and an original member of the Justice League. Don't like it myself. I prefer they'd rather stick with the original team and just updated the origin. But if you're going to bring the new 52 in, and it would, for movie purposes, bring diversity into the, and therefore you'd have a new audience. As far as casting Cyborg, I mean, who you cast as a young black man? I mean, there's plenty of actors out there, and plenty will probably take a role.
Young black.
Anthony Mackie is a hell of a young talent coming up. He's in a few films. I'm trying to think now. I think he may have been a part in. I think he may have a part in the Wrath of Titans coming out. Oh. He's done lots of little roles. In fairness,
so characters that if I was going to watch like a big Justice League kind of movie, the characters I want to see are guys like Green Arrow, because I always felt like Green Arrow was like Batman but with a happier time. And the Question, but obviously people are going to instantly compare the Question to Research.
Well, a lot of the times when you have fan cast for Batman films after Nolan's, a lot of them are casting the entire role of Batman is cast, Robin's cast, Batwoman's cast, even Oracle as well, because obviously there's two of them running around at the same time. Batgirl, Batwoman.
They've cast her as well.
Oh, they cast everything.
And one of the ones she needs 3 actresses to go in with the correct part, but never mind.
No, she doesn't.
No, she does.
No, she really doesn't, and I'll explain if you want me to. Batwoman is not Batgirl.
I know that.
Batwoman has.
She needs 3 actresses.
Batwoman is not Barbara. Batwoman has the entire run.
Well, actually, that brings me to a question in regards to so you're talking about creating a DC movie, just like who are your villains?
Well, for me, for the Justice League film,
I
think the main guy you'd have to bring out for you. I mean, he's never been used in a film. He's been used on Smallville recently. For the last series is Darkseid.
Darkseid.
You bring Darkseid and Apocalypse. That's the guy you'd bring in. What's the biggest threat out there that could bring in? Bring these guys together. I mean, I'd bring Darkseid and Apocalypse into it, like the Planet Apocalypse, as well as. I mean, I might throw in Lobo just for shit and giggles because I like the character.
Well, you're going to get the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond to play him as well.
No, I mean, possibly. I mean, I wouldn't mind casting Captain Marvel in the film either. Shazam. And for me, it would be Patrick Waterburn.
Who's Patrick Waterburn?
He's in Rules of Engagement. I believe he voices Stan in American Dad.
You know what? I'll just look it over into the database later. 10-minute warning.
So,
that was 30 seconds ago, apparently.
You've got these cast, you've got the cast, you've got everything going. The way you market it is similar to the way they've done it here.
Yeah.
You market it through films. Each film is basically a 2-hour trailer for the next, for your big film. And then you do, how Marvel's done with Avengers, you slowly drip feed a little bit here, a little bit there. The trailer came out yesterday for Avengers number 2. It was an amazing looking trailer.
Yes. Avengers Assemble now for the UK.
That's the UK title. Yes. But that's something I wouldn't do. I mean, just the teaser posters for the Avengers and stuff like that. So all you'd have to do for the Justice League is just maybe show the Trinity logo, which is Wonder Woman, Batman, and that would be a big scene. A big scene that I wouldn't do what they've done on the trailer for the Avengers. They've already shown all of them together. Yeah. Standing there together. I know it's a big moment and they want to get out there so people can see. Yeah. Personally, what I would do is I'd wait, and that would be a moment where people would go to cinema just to see Batman and Superman share screen time. It'd be like in Heat, where people went just to see that scene where De Niro and Pacino were The rest of the film sucked. But them two on the same screen, I was like, I watched it just for that.
That was a classic moment.
So you do stuff like that, and it's a moment that people, for the fans, have been crying out for ages. Can we see Batman and Superman on the same screen?
Yeah. I'm still trying to debate who I'd have to play with Nolan though. But we're talking about what would you have like other villains in there, like, you know, not necessarily the Joker, which is going to be everyone's big one, especially when you've got to think, okay, well, who's going to take over Heath Ledger's role?
Someone that I've seen actually that looked the part that someone suggested was Dennis Leary. He's maybe not the acting chops on him, but if you look at the part, look at him, and look at the part he could do. Another one that I believe I saw, I'm struggling to think now, who could do a sinister version was maybe Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving is...
That is a name.
He's the chameleon.
Yes.
He can do everything, and after his work on Red Skull, I'd buy he could be the Joker.
Yeah.
You could bring back Jack Nicholson as an older Joker as well. That could work. Like
he's too out of shape.
You know,
no. If you're going to do I would do that if you're going to do a Batman Beyond.
Well, no, because even Joker, who's getting older, was still in shape.
But if you do a Batman Beyond, you
can
always do Joker maybe out of shape.
Not unless you're going to put
But
the
who would
Joker...
play Terry McGinnis? That's my
I mean,
question.
who would you pick?
No one. No, Batman. That never happened.
What?
If you're going to do Batman Beyond, then you're going to cast...
It never happened!
It's a sequel. It's an
Alright, calm down. Right?
It's not
but
a
if you were to,
reboot.
that's the question I'm going to say. If you're going to recast, you'd go for a young unknown actor.
Yes, I agree.
No Terry McGinnis.
Right? But anyway...
It really is cool.
You'd go on, you'd do that. I mean, it's very much an option of if you want to do these villains in there. I mean, Darkseid in the park is his own. He's got all the prophets, so they're already there. It's very rare Darkseid ever teamed up with anyone. I mean, the prophets themselves they had their own warriors.
Okay, here's the question though, right? Would you have Power Girl?
Not in the first one.
A good answer.
Because in the first one you'd have your core team.
No.
You'd bring in Earth 2 in a later sequel, which would then bring
I don't think you
Power
really need Power Girl at all. It's just because there might be some kids going, who would you get to play Power Girl?
Scarlett Johansson.
She hasn't got a big enough bust.
Okay, well,
That's not good.
Scarlett Johansson. I mean, Christina Hendricks. Once you've IMDb'd her, she has got a big enough bust. One of the biggest in Hollywood. As far as yes, Erik.
Would you bring in the Martian?
Yes, that
John.
John Jones, the Martian man.
Keep Chris Masters away from it.
Would be a role I'd have in it. Maybe if you're not going to bring Arrow in through the film, or if you're going to have Arrow and he's already established as part of the team when you start the film, and you've got Aquaman as part of the team in the individual film, as you say, there's always room to bring John Jones in. And what you do is, I know you don't like this, but I maybe CGI and a mixture of animatron. Mix it up, and I think you'd have someone play the voices, maybe Patrick Stewart as the voice of John.
Patrick Stewart, yes.
Maybe Patrick Stewart, or
the guy who did it on the series.
Yeah,
I think his name escapes me right now.
I mean, the number one that was brought to mind was who to play Apocalypse. Sorry, to play Darkseid himself. Michael Clark Duncan.
Don't know that name.
The Green Mile.
Oh yes.
The Rock's friend. He would
not Ving Rhames.
Not Ving Rhames.
I'm scared of the dog.
You'd have his wife particularly would work with Darkseid.
Yes.
And you could but you could always put him in a suit and he wouldn't look out of place either.
Yes.
And if you didn't want to do, I wouldn't do CGI. No, I wouldn't have a Galactus where it's smoke and fucking mirrors. No, it'd be the man himself. He's an imposing figure.
CGI ruins things at times.
But I think for John Jones, you'd have to do it.
Not if you had a decent, good enough costume and makeup artist.
Possibly, yes, there is.
The Rings makeup.
Yeah, there is that option. If you can make it look realistic, I would probably
definitely
keep it with costume.
Keep it real.
I would always go for costume over it. I mean, that's one of my big gripes about the Green Lantern film is not that the film's bad and not that the acting's bad. Is the fact that every time he puts a suit on, it's all CGI from everything in the suit's CGI. and they thought they could do that because then the construct would look realistic, which it did. But I'm still sitting there thinking the suit should look a part of the person.
That's my beef with Iron Man at times.
Well, a lot of that they made suits for Iron Man.
Yeah, but it's not used much within both films.
Oh, well, the second one not so much. The first one is. There's on the Blu-ray they show footage of the original all three suits. They're in they're in 3 different stages, so you can move around. But
they rely far too much on the climax of that film for CGI.
Well, yeah, but that's a different one.
I'm just
I mean, if there's any characters you're wondering about whereabouts you put them.
Yeah, I mean, also, I think the big one you've got to look at when you're talking like Justice League would be Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor.
Ah, yes, Lex. Lex, I would have established in the Superman films. Not this first one, because I like the idea there's new ones going with Zod.
Yeah, I would...
Keeping Lex out of the Superman films, but maybe having him as a... See, my thing, I'm hoping for the new Spider-Man is the same as I'm hoping for the new Superman. Goblin's not in it. So I would like to see Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
So just keep, in the background, subtly there. So you know that he's there. Yeah. And you go, ooh, it's coming. It's going to be the big guy going to come eventually. So that's what I do with Lex. And I would I'd set this film during the period of time when Lex was president.
Well, I'll tell you what would be...
So the Lex's part was always there.
See, this is what I never understood about Justice League. Correct me if I'm wrong, because you're more of a comic guy than I am. For me, it was always animated.
Yeah.
Yes.
How come, in the entirety of Justice League, Justice League Unlimited, and the animated, how come not once did Ra's al Ghul appear? Ra's al Ghul's entire story is about the manipulation of events, and if think about it, you got the Question who's talking about the fact that he's paranoid. Everything is one conspiracy. Would they allow it? Ra's al Ghul is the fucking conspiracy. How come we never saw the Question versus Ra's al Ghul?
Because the Question was massively underrated.
It very much is. You are
going by animated series here.
Yes.
I can step in and help.
That's good.
Yes.
The animated series with Ra's al Ghul was. You remember the original Batman series, obviously?
Yes.
That was first.
Loved it.
Well, they dealt with Ra's al Ghul and they kind of wrapped that story up.
Uh-huh.
And rather than bringing it back in the Justice League, they kept that till Batman Beyond.
Right.
And
that was when
him in for when Bruce Wayne was finding the fountain of life to become young again.
Yeah, I remember that.
Train himself as Talia, and it
was
really...
I remember that.
Yeah.
It's like, you think that's bad? He kissed me.
Yes, that was a messed up story. Yeah. Because he kisses Talia, and then his voice...
25 second wrap up.
You do your individual films, you build up to one big film. In the big film, you bring new characters as well as the old characters, iconic scenes, and then you set it up with a big villain. Therefore, it leads straight into your next section of sequels for your individual films, which will all lead back into a sequel for your big film.
And that's how you make a DC.
That's how you make DC Justice League the way the Avengers were made.
And the motorbike says that your time is done, good friend. So now, it's my turn. And I'm going to be talking about manners and etiquette.
Say what?
Manners and etiquette.
There are loads of them.
So, Adam, do you want to give me the countdown into my subject?
Indeed I do, and I'll even do it in Spanish.
Okay.
Dos. Unos.
Sounds Spanish.
So, everyone.
That's foreign.
Did you know that you guys are all fucking amazing?
Yes.
I think you guys are the shit. You're the dog's bollocks. And quite frankly, you're all just the fucking absolute shit and best ever. How many of you have offended? Anyone offended?
Nope.
Alright, by the way, I think you're the most disgusting human being I've ever met in my life.
Thank you.
Well, okay. Bad example. The point is, there are people out there who would tell you that swearing is the cause of moral decay. They tell that swearing is the cancer on civilized society. Now, every time I get into this argument, I always have to talk about the different kind of bullshit ideas about etiquette and talk about language. So I'm going to try and take a brief moment to explain the evolution of language, and it goes something like this. Several years ago, we're talking about the Victorian era, you couldn't say thigh or breast because these were deemed sexual. You know? These
Rightly so.
days, breast is used as a way of saying tit, knockers, boobs, you know, fun bags, you know, Jordans. The fact is, Ablabless, is that what you say when they're being smothered in? But the point is, and thigh, well, the only time people talk about thigh is when they talk about how fat they are or what part of the chicken they want. You know, people do not consider thigh and breast words you cannot say in public conversation. Now, there was a time that you couldn't even mention farting. You couldn't bring up the subject of farting.
I wish it was
These days,
I wish it was still like
you know what? That smells pretty nice. You know, the fact is, whether we like it or not, things change and evolve. So, on a purely logical level, there are people right now who are saying, you can't say shit, you can't say fuck. Who's to say that in 100 years' time? So I'm going to be going, well, how the fuck you do? What a shitty morning. Did you know that in the olden days, shitty used to mean bad, and before that, it used to mean defecation? Oh, how droll of the people. Oh, yes, that's the day they still had Katona. Oh, sad beings. The point is, you know, we can't judge, we can't necessarily judge words by the fact that, they're just bad. Words evolve, their meaning evolves, their taboo nature evolves. But let's look at other aspects of this. What is a word? A word is simply a sound that we assign to a concept. So when I say cat, those sounds just happen. Okay, we have no cats here, we own dogs. But anyway, if I say cat, that's just simply a sound which I've put onto a feline animal, right? Just like if I say dog, dog is basically a canine, you know? If I say fuck, that's just, again, another sound which can mean a lot of things. But apparently, if I say fuck, people go, you can't say that, how dare you, how dare you. But if I say duck, which is one letter different, oh, that's fine. If I say suck, they want context. Funny how they don't ask for context for anything else, just for the word suck. But again, we get into this weird territory of why are you so concerned about the word I used? So some people say, well, it's bad language because it implies a negative tone. The idea of swearing is used to just project negative tones, right? Well, first of all, my first example for anyone that I say this to is the way I open the show. If, say, you baked me a cake, and I said to you, that cake was the fucking dog's bollocks, or if I said, that cake is simply the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted in my life, what are you going to be more offended by? The first one's positive. I was just using my swear words to show exactly how extremely positive I feel towards your cake. And in the second sentence, I didn't use any swear words at all, but it was far incredibly negative. I've been actually surprised by the number of people who would have said they would be more offended by the swearing. You see, it comes down to people caring more about the wrapping and not about the present. So let me put it this way, right? I have been fortunate enough in my 25 years of being on this planet to get fucked a few times. And I tell you now, I would rather have a woman go, fuck yeah, than to have them going, this is rather decent, this is rather pleasant indeed. Keep going, sir, I like it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to hear, well, this is moderately decent. Oh, I suppose that will do.
It would kill you, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
It would kill you. You would die inside the mind.
Now, the point is, we're not telling you what, are we? But no, the point is, swearing is not by its very nature negative. Swearing is just like lying. There is no moral context to it. You see, lying is being dishonest, right? Okay, so if I would tell you that there's a surprise birthday party going on, I'm lying. But it's for good purpose. Swearing is the same. If I mean it in a negative way, it's negative. If I mean it in a positive way, it's positive. That's how it fucking works. But there are people and people still out there who are saying, no, swearing is still wrong. Right, okay, now we're going to have to break it down to simple logic.
Is that the protection of the English language committee?
Pretty much, right? So we've got these people who are like, no, it's still wrong, it's still wrong. So I'm going to try to break this down into the very simplest of logic. There are people walking around this planet very sadly right now, wearing French Connection UK t-shirts. FCUK.
How dare you?
The minute someone takes those 4 letters, takes that C, and swaps it with the U, they become bad people. You can't go around saying fuck, but I could go around saying fuck cook. Oh yeah. Why? Well, because fuck is wrong.
Because the guy who says so.
But but the point is, there are people who say swearing is wrong, and they've yet to apply a reason for it. I'm looking for a moral reason why swearing wrong. Now, I had this argument about, I'm tempted to say 5 or 6 years ago, with a guy called Nathan, who was evangelical, decent guy, apart from when he was being a twat. And he said that the reason why swearing is immoral is because it has to be, because it's by its very taboo nature that it gets its meaning. So swearing would lose its meaning if it wasn't taboo, if it wasn't wrong, because the idea that if you use it for its extremeness is because you're not meant to use it. And I can kind of understand that, except I still have a problem with that. You see, there is a difference between swearing is wrong and swearing is overused. Here's the thing. If I don't mind people swearing, as long as it's used correctly. Swearing is a bunch of words. A bunch of words is language. Language has rules. There are rules in swearing as there are in any aspect of language. Just like you've got grammar, punctuation, spelling, all these jazz, you have the same for swearing. For example, if you walk into a room and say, I am just so fucking annoyed right now, I know that you are as annoyed as you possibly can be, or at least that's how you feel. But if you walk in the room going, fuckity, 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 it tells me nothing. It just tells me that you're an immature twat. And I use twat there to show how much of an imbecile you are. Not you. So I'm talking, I'm looking at Dan as I'm saying this because Jason's falling asleep.
Try it.
Yeah. He's been working all day and he's going back to work after this. But anyway. What have I got? I'm 11 minutes and 39 seconds. Awesome. Right? There are rules to swearing. You've got to use it in the right context, at the right time, in the right situation.
Are there any words that are off? Any taboo words?
No. There are no words off limit because...
You know the obvious word that everyone brings up.
Cunt.
Yeah.
Yes. Here's the thing about cunt, right? I use cunt when I'm describing someone that has pissed me off the most that day. Erik gets it a lot. For me, a cunt is a person who has either done some great wrong to someone else or has pissed me off the most. Usually Erik. Right? And it's not a nice word. But yet again, the reason it's not nice is because all the implications that have been put around that word are negative. Just like heathen. There's no such thing as a good heathen to the person that uses the term. Because if you've got a person that calls someone a heathen in a positive light, they've not understood what the term heathen means. If I can call someone a fucker. It doesn't mean a bad thing. What's wrong with fucking? Unless you're underage. But let's go back to the first topic. I bring it all back, baby. But look, the point is, right? 10 minutes and 25 seconds. Awesome. Right? In fact, George Carlin put it best. One of the big phrases that's been horribly abused is cocksucker. It's like, you cocksucker! It's a bad man. It was a good woman. How did they fuck it up?
Still is in certain websites.
Yeah, but my point is, people use swearing, in whatever manner best fits them. And if they find it offensive, it's simply because they don't know how to use it properly.
Which, like Kevin Smith says, when he came over here for his evening with, he said he was talking about something that someone at the press had wrote, and he said, these three cunts. And I don't mean that in your English, happy, you're right, cunt. I mean that a hardcore American cunt.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it would be like me going around going, Djismie, you goddamn lasagna. It's like, Dad, you're lasagna, you. It's like, if people are looking at
Very lasagna.
Well, look, what I was saying, it's like, Stephen, what the hell are you talking about? I said, you heard me, you overcooked lasagna. People would look at me as if I was insane. But I could mean that as offensive as I bloody well mean it. That to me could be the worst thing I could possibly call you. Yeah, if I say, you fucker, which is someone that's able to have sex, apparently it's like, how dare you? How dare you accuse me of having sex? I'm a virgin. Don't you know this? It's like, what? So you'd rather be a lasagna than someone that can actually get fucked? Yes! Wait, what? I'm confused. Ah, society! You know? But that's the thing. That's what I don't get. There are people who are willing to be lasagnas to get laid. So basically, if you don't like swearing, then you want to be a meaty-based product. You know? You'd rather be an overcooked piece of meat and shit pasta sheets than have sex.
Depends how if you make it.
I would like to point out, however, that cooking lasagna is sometimes the way to get to sex.
Yes.
Azim, we're going to have to go back to this one. You know? I seem to be like cooking a meal for someone.
Yeah.
Right, just checking.
Where did you think I was going with it?
I don't know. I'm not the one that danced around like a clown in my room.
I don't dance around like a clown in my room. I dance around in a clown in other people's rooms.
My point.
I just thought you were going to be a pimp.
Pimp or dad.
For funny-looking prostitutes.
No, it's the whole, you know, but you can be a person who makes it so they can have sex. Sort of pimp.
No, but anyway. But I'm talking about. But swearing is not. I've got 7 minutes and 45 seconds. Swearing is not the only matter of etiquette. There are other forms of etiquette and manners which make no sense. Now, here's the thing: sitting at the table with your hat on is bad manners.
I got bad hair.
Why? I take my hat off at the dinner table. Do you know why? Because it can get a bit uncomfortable. If I'm, sometimes I can feel a bit. If I'm wearing my trilby and I'm indoors, it gets a bit hot. I'm like, you know what, my hair's done and stuff, so I have to take my hat off. But it's say it's bad manners. Here's the best excuse I ever heard. Shouldn't wear your hat at the table. Why? It looks like you're about to leave.
Yeah, I don't get that.
What if I was bollock naked and wearing only a hat? Would I look like I'm about to leave?
It depends on where you were going to be fair.
But everywhere I go dressed. In fact, there's only one location that I go naked, and that is from the sink to the bath. Maybe the toilet and the bath, if I've been to the loo. But the point stands, there's a very brief amount of time when I am naked and travelling at the same time. But the point is, rather than talk about my balls on this show, there's other aspects of etiquette. Like, there's a fantastic one. It's like, when you have a napkin, if you use your napkin for anything other than dabbing the sides of your mouth, that's wrong. Well, what if I'm bleeding from the forehead, bitch? Is it wrong then? In fact, this stupid bitch, you order a hamburger, right? The chef is this marvelous hamburger. No, not Burger King, McDonald's, a restaurant, an actual restaurant that has stars as a rating, rather than Happy Meals as an order, right? And this woman goes, there's this etiquette trainer that goes, no. What are you doing? I'm picking up the hamburger and eating it. No, you first cut the burger in half. Yes. No, we don't! You see the bread bun? The burger is one of the most perfectly designed things in mankind. You see, it has bread underneath. It's like a sandwich, only bigger, right? There's bread underneath and bread on top. So you can get your hands around it and munch it to death. Even vegetarian burgers do that. Guess what my next topic will be on the show? But my point is, right, there are certain rules of etiquette and manners that don't apply. They don't make sense. Now, there are some that make perfect sense to me. There are some, it's like, if you're going to talk to someone, shake their hand, look them in the eye, that's fine, wash your hands in the bathroom. These days, people consider that etiquette rather than, necessity. But but there are certain ways when you pass the salt, you pass the salt and the pepper, not just the salt. Well, dickhead, I don't like pepper. What if I don't want it? What if I just want the fucking salt? But you must pass the pepper, otherwise it's bad manners. Really? Who's offended? Who's motherfucking offended? In fact, I want to meet the son of a bitch when I'm sitting at that table, right? If one person says to me, legitimately, not just to wind me up, but legitimately says,
that'll be me.
Well, you didn't pass the pepper. Did you want the pepper? No. Then why are you upset? Well, it's just bad manners. I will beat them to death with the pepper. So far up their nose, they'll sneeze their eyes out. Goddamn cock-sucking, dick-munching cunt.
And then we use the napkin to clean up the blood.
Exactly! And I'm all up for that. And then I'll go happily eating my burger. And just to piss her off, I'll take the bread buns off and eat it with my hands. Num. But then there's one more thing I want to talk about in my 4 minutes. Offence.
Oh God. Oh.
This is what I don't get. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, right? I don't want to hurt Dan's feelings or Djismie's feelings or Adam's feelings. I want to hurt Tony Blair's feelings and Cameron's and, Nathan. But of all these people whose I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't care about offending anyone because, as a very funny comedian put it, nothing happens. Nothing happens when you're offended. If I offend you, your eyes aren't going to fall out your head. You know what I mean? I don't understand what offence is. I can't help but feel that it's just people who may have intelligence but can't come up with an intelligent argument to what you're saying.
Daily Mail.
Yes. I mean, it's like people who say, oh my God, it's like, I'm so offended by that. Well, what did I say? It's like, well, you said that you don't believe in my God and that my God probably doesn't exist. And you're offended? Yes. Don't give two shits. How dare you? I have rights. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Oh, no, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. How dare you? I don't get this idea of why should we worry about being offended? I don't give two shits if I'm offended. I'm offended by fucking most things. You know what I do? I rant about it.
No, we fucking know that.
See, take me and Jizz. That's just who's over me. We do a separate show along with Dan, Couture, and Mark out. We talk about wrestling. We also talk about we argue all the fucking time because he's constantly offending me and I'm constantly offending him. And then Dan sometimes get involved. We sometimes offend him. But the point is, out of all this, regardless, in fact, offence can be fun.
It is.
Because what better way to get some aggression out than being offended and offending the fuck out of others? I can't tell you them out. I mean, I piss off people on a constant basis.
Yes.
You can tell. Right? I piss off Christians, Jews, Muslims, vegetarians, vegans, women, men.
Rock fans,
Cena fans, Stone Cold fans, Undertaker fans, fans of anything in particular, people who are living, not necessarily people who are dead.
Twilights.
What?
Twilights.
Twilights are the worst. Twilights are fat. They're first. I actually worked out the mathematics of this. I piss off Twilight fans more than Christians. Okay. So basically what we're saying is Christians are more forgiving than Twilight fans.
They don't sparkle.
Exactly. However, my point is, down at all this, I mean, really, what I don't understand, the question I pose to people is this. Swearing makes no sense that it's immoral.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's just as offensive as using non-swearing words in a negative context, right? Etiquette, manners don't make sense. Why should we worry about rules which have no place in the logical society? And also the offence. Why should we be worried about being offended and offending other people? And as I say, being offended first. I'm not worried if I'm offended. Okay, if it hurts my feelings, there's a difference. If I said to Dan, I think your ideas about God and all that jazz, I don't know what his beliefs are, and I don't care really. But if I said... okay.
Who would even?
Okay, so we're going to pretend you're
Thank
Christian.
God he achieved his goal.
But let's assume that you're Christian, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you are Christian. I'm telling you straight up. I think if you're a Christian, your entire philosophy is flawed, makes no sense, and quite frankly, I don't know where the fuck you think of how it works. If he's offended, then it's like, I don't care if you're offended. If he said, well, my feelings are hurt, and I said, why? Because you disagree with me, then I'd say, well, you're a fucktard, get over it. But if he said, no, I'm upset because of the way you talk to me, you talk down to me, or something like that, and you made me feel...
Right, I'm used to that.
Yeah, but if he's like, well, you made me feel less, then that's one thing. And that's my timer done. So basically, quickly wrap it up there. Don't be offended. Swear all you fucking want, as long as you use it in the correct context. And I don't care. Eat your burger with two hands.
I will. What time would you go?
I've got time.
Right. Go. So the final subject of the show, it comes down to Djismie and oh my god, my iPod is doing something weird.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And basically, what happened is my iPod went. I'm gonna freeze now. So yeah, I'm using my iPod as a timer. That's the...
No bother. I can see the time.
Okay, so,
right.
Djismie, quickly, just introduce, what is your topic going to be?
My topic is about remakes, reboots, and sequels, when they work and when they don't.
Right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Remakes are mainly piles of shit that should never see the light of day. Because, my god, do they ruin franchises. For example, the Transformers movies. Oh my god, Michael Bay, you raped one of the greatest franchises and tried to destroy it for their former fans and a new generation.
Can I just interrupt and say, Djismie, I so agree with you.
Thank you.
I'm just asking, is that technically a remake?
That's a reboot of a series. Because I'm going series as well.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Like movie series. Why? When you have a core series, successful from the 1980s, yes, I am going back in the past. You did a whole great 4 series and an epic movie, the only movie that I will ever count on Transformers, and release the biggest pile of wank I've ever watched from a franchise how I loved as a child. Oh my.
I can atone that he did hit every single one. I was there for the last 2. I was actually in person watching him shake his head and cry.
Oh man. Why make characters up when you have a backlog of over 100 and make racist characters, annoying characters, characters who've never even existed?
Isn't this the same argument you apply for Creative Superstar?
Yes! Keep with the past! When, you started with your first movie and the Autobots come out. Optimus Prime, I accept. Bumblebee, an awesome character apart from he talked like a radio, and this is where we went downhill from there.
Yes, that's where we went downhill.
Not the casting of Shiny.
They couldn't even colour them correctly. Why? It's not hard to get the paint palette and say, Ironhide, red. We'll paint him great. No, you paint him reds. Oh!
I can't have the people.
Oh my god! Why? Why would you do that? It's just idiotic.
Well, I have a point. Can you please tell the world what you feel about the Decepticons in the first film?
Why do you not have any colour at all? And why don't you transform into the things you used to? Oh my god. And Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox, who cast them?
And
why was he called Sal when he should have been called Spike?
Why was he called Shia LaBeouf?
Well, that was his parents' fault, not Michael Bay's. That's the only thing he won't get the blame for.
Spielberg's fault was after them.
Megan Fox was another made-up character. Oh no, we'll bring Carly in the third film.
And she was
amazing. Yeah.
People can't see your sarcastic look.
Yeah. The silence should do it. Anyway.
Would you like to mention another series?
I would. Transformers sucks balls. I hate those movies.
Do you need a cigarette?
Watch the 80s. It ended in the...
What, just watch the 80s?
Yes.
The entirety of it.
Right. So now, after I've had my little rant, I'll go into something that works. Sorry.
Okay.
Right, the original Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles series, or Ninja, depending on what country you're in. We got an awesome series that ran for 9 years. We got 3 live-action movies. Now, they obviously didn't link, but they actually kept with the core characters, the storyline, didn't change things, and they worked as a series.
To some extent.
Right? They are a bit cool.
They did change everything about them, so...
No, they didn't.
The Ninja Turtles is one of the most violent and hardcore graphic comic series, and the series and the movies became
I'm talking about animated series and movies.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the origins of the characters.
But I'm not talking about comics. That was yours.
Yeah, which is the origins of the character.
Yeah. But we're talking about how you change things from series, because most mass audience come from media, and everyone must agree that.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's where I'm going from. So we got them. And they were enjoyable, even if you look back at them now, and sometimes most people might think they're a bit corny, but they still work. It's still the 4 essence of the characters. They didn't change them. Right? And then in 03, they brought in the new series, and I was like...
That was the
TMNT series.
No, they didn't.
And they made it more darker tone to try and fit in with the comics that you've seen before. Now, to an extent... I enjoyed that, which shocked me, because I usually hate these things. Mm-hmm. But the build up of the characters, they kept the same characters, but changed them more to fit in with the comics, like the look and that. And I thought, okay, we'll see where it's going. And obviously that series digressed. And then we came up with the new animated movie, which was still a follow-up to the third film.
Yeah.
So a sequel. Sequel worked and made them older. But then, the icing on the cake, they made Turtles Forever. Which is, yes, a new animated movie, which interlinked the 80s series with the 2000 series, the movies, and it made it all work with a parallel universe that linked them all in, so nothing actually contradicted it, so it all worked in a way. Now, why can't more series, after that whole build-up, link in like that, and then it become more acceptable? Not change core characters and core things when there's no need to.
Am I the only person who thought he was going to say colours there?
And sorry, one last thing, and even in that movie, the first ever animation of the Mirage comic Turtles that was still in black and white, and they even took the piss out of those characters, but it still all worked in one way. Now, please bring in your comments.
Well, actually,
that's two of my major beefs.
This whole paradox ideas, like, so you've got the past and the present, so it all works out all the inconsistencies. Could we do that with TNA and WCW?
Maybe at one point.
Cool.
My point for the Turtles, obviously I mentioned already the graphic where they made it kid friendly.
But I've just
but have you heard recently?
Yes, I have heard who's attached to the new movie.
The reboot.
Yes,
and
but
reimagination.
Yes, but I've just said
no.
No, but it's
a complete reboot and reimagination of the Ninja Turtles.
The new series and movie.
Just the movies attached to.
Yes, but they're doing it.
No.
I wish it was. Michael Bay.
He is going to. His production company has the right to remake them.
No, as I've just said about the Paradox Universe, right?
Oh yeah.
If you need to see the movie to understand how it works. Well, they could, no matter, he could mess, unless he really messes the core characters up, which he probably will, it will still work because of how the storyline went. Oh. So I won't be as pissed off, because there's still a way how it can say, okay, I can accept that.
But do you have a problem with remakes and reboots in general?
I do, yes.
So just doing them full stop?
But that's
to me, do you have a problem with the Magnificent Seven?
Hang on, to me, they're seen as more sequels because how they end. Sorry, do I have a problem with what?
The Magnificent Seven was a remake of the Seven Samurai.
I've never seen them, so.
Or Cape Fear, the remake of a 1962 film.
Yeah.
The Man Who Knew Too Much was a remake of the Alfred Hitchcock's first. The Man Who Knew Too Much.
I have a problem with that.
Scarface was a remake of a 1932 Scarface, and it's going to be remade again, which is a fucking crying shame. But I understand, because all they do is update the character and make it into a.
But it depends how. It depends. Like it depends on the remake.
No. He's there for the rebate of the character.
My main point with the remakes and reboots.
I've got one more.
All right.
The remake of The Thing.
No, I heard that was a prequel.
Is a remake? No, it's a remake based on Howard Hawks' The Thing.
Well, if it's a remake, it wants to go to hell. But if it's a prequel...
That's just 5. I have 25 here. That's
right.
5.
Can I just point out a movie which I utterly despise with all my hatred? And that is The Avengers. But not the one you're thinking of. I'm talking about...
the remake.
Yes.
The one with Uma Thurman.
Yeah, no one can defend that.
No, that's... Yes. Why... Yeah.
I feel left out, Greg, when I haven't seen any of the films you people are naming.
You're already young.
So, basically, my point is... How that didn't work. Other things that have been rebrought. We've seen Batman be remade. And that worked.
Yeah.
Because...
it's going to be remade again anyway.
Yeah. But somehow, I enjoyed that because, like I say, you didn't take the essence from the character. You kept the same backstory.
It actually restored some dignity to Batman.
Yes.
To me, I would have still preferred... But to me, if I had a choice, I still would have gone for a 5th film and tried to save that franchise. That's how I would have tried to go for it. Obviously not keep Clooney, but still do the continuation with Michael Gough and as Alfred and keep that whole story. Bring in the new characters.
Michael Keaton was the best.
He was. Yes, he was.
Manuel didn't mind Val.
No, Val worked for what it was.
Val
Kilmer
I like Val Kilmer.
because it was very similar
Yeah.
to the Michael Keaton
Keaton
character.
stuck in with Chris O'Donnell as
Oh,
Robin
they
guy.
just chewed the scenery up.
See, I like Chris O'Donnell.
Oh, no.
I like Chris
By the
O'Donnell
way,
as Robin.
10-minute warning.
Thanks.
No, but I just love that famous scene. Well, I say famous scene, nobody remembers it. But there's a scene where Val Kilmer, to me, as Batman, after he's getting suited by, he's getting healed up by Al, he just turns to Chris and goes, "What the hell are you doing?" As if, like, because obviously he nicked the car and all that. To me, that just seemed like Val Kilmer talking to Chris and going, "What the hell are you doing? That was crap, man.
This is 40 takes you fucking took here.
We've spent the budget on you alone, you twat." Oh,
Of course, Batman and Robin gets a lot of stick though because
But
you had
is
Arnold, you had Ice to meet you.
But it's
Batman-
No,
to
that
me,
film got a lot of stigma because it was terrible.
It was
yeah.
still
Batman
did
and
have
Robin-
the continuation though.
No, Batman and Robin, 2 words.
George Clooney.
Actually, no, 3 words.
George fucking Clooney.
No. Back credit card.
Yes.
But its expiry date was forever, so it was a reference to the previous film.
Yeah.
That's I can accept that.
My point
How
was
can you
Batman.
accept that?
Because it's
The
continuation.
Batman franchise doesn't bloody
Yes, I
accept that.
I would, to me, like as in here's my thing. Freddy Krueger.
Oh.
This is my real. You've got the
Here we
Nightmare.
go.
You've got the Nightmare on Elm Street, right? The original series has 7 films. You've got the 6 ones that carry on, and you have New Nightmare. Now, New Nightmare was taken from a weird setup as Wes Craven and all of the actors played themselves, and Freddy Krueger was portrayed as a real character within the universe of actors acting in the previous.
Yeah.
Now, that worked well because it was something different. Come 2009, I think it was, when they brought out the new Nightmare on Elm Street with,
Jackie Earl Haley.
oh my god, why? Why ruin such an iconic character with that dribble that was that movie?
What about Jason?
They absolutely killed that character. To me, when Robert Englund had retired from that role, Freddy Krueger should have retired because there's no one to match his presence on that screen.
I mean, I didn't see the whole thing. I turned off as soon as they started doing the whole fucking rape shit, and I'm not watching this bullshit. But Jackie Earl Haley, for me, has a great presence, but he obviously is not Robert Englund. You know, he's
not Freddy Krueger.
The problem being is when an iconic character has been cast and an iconic character has been played, he becomes iconic due to the actor.
Well,
You can't go back and replace Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker.
Well, to be fair, I feel the same about Superman.
Well, Christopher, yeah, as you said before, he's not Christopher Reeve.
No.
Yeah.
And Christopher Reeve, Batman is probably the one exception to the role because the mask helps to a certain degree.
But that's what I was saying about how it works and how it doesn't. Val Kilmer worked from Michael Keaton.
George was too
Right.
pretty.
But what was the guy in Superman Returns?
Brandon Roth.
Brandon Roth.
Or Brendan.
That was another thing I hate. This is my.
Oh, that was between
this is
one
going to be
and
one
two,
of my
right,
last
yeah.
points. Another thing, they made Superman Returns, which was supposed to be set between one and two, and they discount 3 and 4, as you can take it from another point of view. It's like, hang on.
3 and 4.
It's like you can watch 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can watch 1 Returns and 2 and finish that off. No.
X-Men.
Yes. This is my major. Last year, X-Men First Class. Oh my god. Why have I... This was my biggest thing of all of these. X-Men... I thought, wow, a prequel. Now, I'm all love prequels. I love the Star Wars prequels, all of them. They don't contradict anything. X-Men First Class was supposed to be a prequel / reboot?
Yeah.
A hybrid? How does that even work in any sense of anything?
I understand how the concept works, but the movie didn't.
No,
Yeah, the movie didn't.
but you have references to...
I'm just going to say that I enjoyed the movie by itself as a movie itself. It's very entertaining.
No, I mean...
I thought it was a bunch of cockballs.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed it, and I'm an X-Men fan, so fuck you. I would.
But no, you made 3 iconic films. You made a Wolverine film, right? Then you made that
You're
film,
wrong there.
right? Oh, it didn't have anything on the animated series.
No. You didn't make 3 iconic films.
Well, no,
you made
X-Men.
2 iconic films.
Right? Just wrap up my point here. You had Wolverine.
Yes.
No contradictions within the first three.
On,
so then...
on?
Didn't have any contradictions for the first three?
No.
What? Come on then, quickly.
Toad, Iceman, Cyclops.
What about them?
Cyclops doesn't have any recollection of meeting Wolverine.
He didn't meet Wolverine, he had his eyes covered.
Wolverine has no
it.
recollection of meeting Cyclops.
And he didn't know... How was he supposed to know who he was? As a kid?
Iceman, Toad.
What about them?
They were in the cells. Quicksilver. How the fuck are you going to have Quicksilver in a cell, locked up, and he's saved by Xavier, and not even mention him in the first two films? Quicksilver is the son of Magneto,
No, but
and is an original founder of the Brotherhood of Mutants.
Right, but that isn't...
And
but
fucking Sabretooth's not in there.
Yeah, but the point of the film... What I'm saying about the film, there was no contradictions because they just didn't mention the character. It doesn't mean he wasn't there, does it?
Fucking Gambit as well. That's the one that pisses me off.
Anyway, right. First Class. They were like, yes, it's a prequel, so, you know. And it contradicts itself in about 10 minutes. Why? Because it was badly made film. So let's make a film that's gonna. So let's make a film and say we're gonna do the prequel, and we're gonna throw in references with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, a cameo, and the change of Mystique to the original actress.
Rebecca remains.
And then, let's have one of the major points of the film where Xavier can't walk at the end, but we'll have a flashback scene in number 3 where he can clearly walk in a different time frame, which is set after
Which I did explain to you.
Unless they make him walk again within this series. Beast was Beast. Unless they're going to
change it back.
If they can correct all of these faults in these next 2 films and not contradict anything, fair enough. But at the moment, it was one of the biggest bullshit thing.
Well, that's the problem.
Keep with the series that you've got and expand. Don't change, expand.
I think that's the thing, because I can understand the concept, but I think it's a failed execution, because if you have, what you're saying is, it's a prequel, but it's going to be the prequel to a reboot. The problem is, it's no longer a prequel then, it's part 1.
Yes.
Because you're redefining it, and the redefining starts at the beginning.
Their argument was they wanted to do a prequel to 1. 1 and 2, but they still contradicted 1 and 2, and they wanted to have a scene from 3 that they said counts. You can't do a film like that. Man. You can't just say, watch 1, 2, and a tiny bit of 3 and make your own film. No, it doesn't work like that. You made 3 films. You either go for a new route or you go back.
I mean, the idea was that Bryan Singer had already wrote his draft of number 3 before he signed on to do Superman. And that's why he left to do Superman instead of doing number 3. That's also why Cyclops has no time in the third one. Because he went acting in another. And not even to play fucking Superman, to play Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, who was his girlfriend in the film.
Boyfriend.
Fucking fiancé?
Yeah.
And it turns out, guess what? That kid you think's yours? It's Superman's.
Yeah.
Don't mention that in any of the sequels.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That was my big beef with that.
Contradictions.
But what they said, they worked off his script more than they worked off the third one, which is stupid because obviously the third one's been made.
Yeah. But now they're talk of making 4 or 5.
Well, no, they're making the sequel next to First Class.
Yeah, but they're on about doing 4.
Not unless
to
they
3.
want to do 4.
So now
before
what?
Won't get long. Before will wipe out the Dark Phoenix saga. Apparently, I don't know how, but they said it will.
So what do we go from 4 and not contradict the prequels, or do we carry on from the?
I don't know. 4's being wrote by Bryan Singer. So what happened is your prequels will continue, and so hopefully they'll get a bit more better. And then then your 1, 2 will count, and then 3 won't. I think 3 will be completely forgotten.
So let me ask you this. We'll come to a minute left. How can you make a reboot work?
Ask Christopher Nolan, the director.
Yeah.
All right.
No. So that works because they don't, like I say, they don't change the core. Don't change the core essence.
Yeah.
Don't try and link with the other films. Don't ruin characters. Still keep with that concept. Okay, Nolan took a different direction. He tried to make it real. But the characters, they were still recognizable to. Yeah.
Well, he actually dignified like Bane.
Yeah.
Because Bane
was amazing.
Again, Batman and Robin.
But but he did look right in the film.
Yeah, he looked
right.
But the way that they've done Bane in Dark Knight Rises, and what I've seen of it, obviously the voice is touching him because he can't hear what he's saying because of the mask, is they're going to make him what he is. He's a tactical genius.
So we've got 15 seconds.
So just to wrap this quick point up back to X-Men, what they should have done, you've got the 3 films as one series, and you should do First Class as a new series, and if you want, and they've recasted parts, yes, well they should still play them characters, but in that series, and have no interlinks. And I have to go on.
Right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is, Djismie's about to make his exit, so we want to thank him very much for joining the show. Thank you very much for coming on. And Dan, any last words for the folks at home? With all the stuff that we've talked about today?
Well, now you know how to make a film series work, how not to reboot it and fuck it up, how to swear and use etiquette in public, and of course, that sex underage is illegal.
Yes, thank God we've told people that because nobody knew that.
Hashtag society.
And Adam, how you think the show went?
The show was good, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad that we did this. I'm glad me and you came up with the idea.
Yeah. And obviously we'll be back next week. Adam will be hosting the show along with his guests, and next week I'll be back with my two friends here doing Total Markout. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next week!